But what they're able to transport that room into with the lights, that to me, that's what makes that one to me. And the heroes and villains of the whole ship, I loved it. The Destiny has.
Everyone, to another episode of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by my Path Unwinding Travel. And as you can tell from hearing my voice, I'm solo hosting today. This is Sam. I am not alone. My husband, of course, is out of town for a work trip, and then he went to see his folks after that. But I am not alone. I've got two wonderful guests. I know longtime listener, first-time caller, Lauren, and her husband, Chase. Welcome to the show, Lauren and Chase.
Howdy.
So nice to have you guys. I love your artwork behind you, by the way. You've got, which ship cutout is that behind you?
That is the treasure behind us. Yeah. And actually sitting on top, what you can't see is actually, we buy Legos, a custom Lego for each ship we sell on.
Oh, that's awesome. I could see there were little ships. I couldn't tell that they were Lego, just from the...
Yeah. So then we had this one custom made with our actual thing on it. And so each of them are done personally. And that's one of the things that we like giving out. Pixie dusting. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. I will tell you, I have done Lego ships like that as part of like fish extender gifts, but I had to order like parts from all over the place through like eBay basically to get the right pieces in order to have, enough to make for folks. How did you do the, is that a sticker that's sort of printed on the side?
No, that's actually engraved into the ship. So like,
the person we buy it
from actually engraves each little piece into the piece of it. And so this is actually the little bag that we get and we pass out. And that's the reason why we love getting it from her. She's awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, well, after the show, I'm going to ask you for that, whoever that is on Etsy, because I love that. I think it's a great little souvenir for each of the ships you've been on. So I see there's 6 Lego ships. So that tells me you have been on 6 of the 8 ships now. Is that right?
So we're not there yet, but we've doubled up on one of them. Yeah. We upset the kids by taking a solo trip on one of them.
For us, yeah. Because our kids, Son's kids, yeah.
So we have done, what is it now? 5? Let's see.
Done. So we went on, going the history. We went on the Wish just as a family trip. My parents gifted us.
With them.
Yeah. So
with them.
2023.
That was our first trip.
We'll just go one time and this will be it, kind of thing. Yeah, famous last words. So then I was like, I didn't get to everything I wanted to get to on that first sailing. It was 3 nights on the Wish. And so then we went back, just him and I, for my 40th birthday, combined it with Parks and a 4-night on the Wish. Just him and I.
Yeah.
And then we went after that to the Fantasy for 5 nights. And then we're like, oh, this is just not long enough with the kids. And then we went on the Treasure for Christmas for that December afterwards. Yeah. And then this last sailing, which we'll talk about, is the Dream and the Destiny.
Awesome. Okay, so you are rounding out the ships. You are trying to hit all of the ships. Now you haven't hit the Magic and the Wonder yet. Okay. I'm little spoiler teaser. I love that. Yeah, because you haven't hit the classic ships yet, but you have hit you have hit the Dream class, although you haven't been on you have been on the Fantasy. You've been on the Dream and the Fantasy now. And then you have been on all of the Wish class ships. So yeah, okay. So just not Magic, Wonder, and now Adventure. As we're recording, the maiden voyage just happened of the Disney Adventure. All right. Well, is there a love from Disney that came before Cruise Line, or did it start with the cruise line?
So to speak a little bit towards that, being honest, we talked about it before, but neither one of us really had like a strong passion necessarily. Like, let's go to the Disney or whatever. We knew that we'd probably go with the kids at some point.
I've been a few times, as a kid, once in college, because a friend of a friend worked at Animal Kingdom, so we got in free back then and saw the fireworks and New Year's Eve that year. But we never been like big parks attenders.
Nope.
But like, wait, kids are getting older. We know we want to do this big family trip. Like have the kids introduced to Disney and all. And then that just kind of led down, all the rabbit hole.
And so that we got on our first Disney cruise, and then that has sparked it. We have done other cruise lines before, but it seemed to really spark, especially for her. And I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy it as well. I love certain things on the ships of Disney that they do so well.
Now, what cruise lines had you been on before your first Disney cruise?
So I have done Carnival, and we did Royal Caribbean actually.
Pre-kids.
Pre-kids together.
I was on a big red boat back then. Disney did.
She did the big red boat.
Yeah.
That's right. So the original Disney cruise, as we all know it. In fact,
But she didn't get any Castaway credit. That's the disappointing thing. No Castaway credit for that.
Correct, because it was a different company. Now, if you sailed with Disney, like even in 1998, and it was DCL, you get Castaway credit for that. Although now that of course may change with their sort of expiring Castaway Club status that policy that now is in effect. You got to sail within 5 years. But I mean, those original sailings on DCL count, but not the sailings on the Big Red Boat, because it was a partnership rather than a Disney owned cruise line. So although it'd be interesting. Well, we still don't know what the status will be for the OLC ship out of Japan. Right now, we know that the Disney Adventure, you're booking it through the Disney Cruise Line website, so of course counts towards Castaway status. The open question right now is still, and we won't have word probably for, I would guess, until that ship actually is, those sailings are being sold, right? Until you can book those sailings, I don't think we'll have an answer as to whether or not they count for Castaway Club status. I think if it's a separate website, if you have to go through let's say the Tokyo Disney website as opposed to the Disney Cruise Line website, I personally think that they're not going to count towards Castaway Club status if that's the case. But we'll have to wait and see, because I was surprised that the Disney Adventure was bookable through the Disney Cruise Line website, and that they didn't do a separate sort of website for that as well. But we'll see. Well, okay. Well, we got to talk about why you chose this sailing. You had just sailed in December on the Disney Treasure. And then you've got this back-to-back that we're going to be talking about. Sorry, not back-to-back, side-to-side cruise we're going to be talking about, where you were on the Dream for 4 nights and then the Destiny for 5 nights, which pre-show I told you, good job in selecting the number of nights. I mean, of course, it's always better to do more, right? If you could do 5 and 5, but you picked, the 4 night on the Dream is fine. You need the 5 nights on the Destiny because there's just so much to do on the Destiny. Yeah. How old are your kids? Let's start with that.
Our kids are 8 and 10. Son is 8. Daughter is 10. They're in 2nd and 4th grade.
Great ages for Disney Cruise Line, both still in the Oceaneers Club, but the older one can wave into Vibe if they want to go there. Love that. Perfect. All right. Well, tell me, you guys, when did you get down to Fort Lauderdale? Please tell me you didn't go the day of.
Down on the 9th, Sunday, the 9th.
And we flew down. We flew down the day before of our sailing, and I think their song was really the 9th. Was it 9th through 13th?
Oh,
so it was on 8.
Yeah.
We flew down the 8th.
We stayed at the Hilton Fort Lauderdale Marina.
Yep.
Which is just could see the ship,
It was great. We literally could see the Disney cruise ship port right across from the hotel. And so you could see them. It was awesome. And
we had to request that view.
We did have to request the view and pay a little bit extra for it, but that's fine. It was great. Absolutely fantastic. So we got down there, like she said, a day before. We actually had a day between the sailings for ours. So the 13th we got off, and then we got on the 14th for the Destiny. We got to see it come into port.
Oh, cool. That's actually cool. So, I mean, we talk about, side to side. I think of it in broad terms, right? You're either getting off and on the same day, or within a day or two, where you're but you're not, you could even be moving ports technically in Florida because you've got Fort Lauderdale and Port Canaveral, so they're a few hours away, but close enough that you could do it the same day. All right, well, let's dive in and talk about the Dream first, of course, because that's the first ship you got on. You hadn't been on the Dream before, but you had been on the Fantasy before, so you at least had you have a very good familiarity with the layout of the ship because it really is identical with like one exception, which is the adult area. The adult bar area has a slightly different layout, room configuration, and also different theming. But it's still all in the same place. They're all in the same, like they're in the aft of the ship on the same deck as on the Fantasy, just a slightly different configuration of the bar spaces. But everything else across those two ships is pretty similar. I got to ask what you thought of the atrium on embarkation day. As you enter, of course, your family name is announced. What did you think of the Disney Dream, and sort of in comparison to the Fantasy that you'd been on before?
Well, I love the like Art Deco or Nouveau, theming in there. I loved how the chandelier is the same colors as Donald's
tail feathers.
Yeah, tail feather. Well,
tail feather shapes.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that before getting on the ship, like, oh, yeah, that correlates to that.
I love those hidden details. I feel like if you get to go on one of the Art of the Theme ship tours on the classic ships, or you go on Imagineering the Wish, Treasure, Destiny, right, on the Wish class ships, like you get to hear about some of those artistic details. I mean, there's also some, various television shows that Disney Cruise Line has put out through, we call it Imagineering, or I forget the names of all of the different shows that they have done over the course of years. But yeah, it's really nice to kind of get some of those artistic details that you might not in particular notice. Now, do you guys have, embarkation day traditions that you have created now, like a routine of you always do X, Y, and Z on embarkation day? Yeah, I feel like everyone does.
I'm a little more flexible than him.
I'm more routine-ish.
Yeah.
I've got to have my routine.
Tell me, Chase, what is your embarkation day routine look like?
So I am a bit of a person where we got to have bags ready to go. Like, I'll be honest, like bags got to be ready to go at the door. I don't care who's picking up or so on and so forth, but definitely got to have that ready to go. But once we get on the ship, or once we get to there, obviously once you get there, you got to sign into the app, which we do a good job of. She's even quicker than I am about doing it.
Okay.
So she gets the Wi-Fi. She's looking to see. And but once we get on the ship, like part of our routine, or at least for us, because we have the two kids, going to check in or doing some of the tours that they offer, because the Kids Club open house. And we were fortunate enough to have early enough boarding times to where it wasn't too crowded. We always immediately go down there, because it seems like if you rush upstairs to get food first, then the crowd comes, or at least we've seen it's more crowded down there as you come in. And so we immediately go, check out, get our kids checked in, make sure we're good for that, from our secret password to check out, or of course, our oldest one is able to check herself out now, and she's pumped.
Oh, that's awesome. That level of independence, when they sort of get to that age where they can exercise that level of independence, it's really kind of fun to watch, and you can give them that extra bit of trust that they may not get at home, right? We don't let them wander the streets at home, but they might get to wander the cruise ship. I love it.
Yeah. So once we do that, then we go. I personally prefer the buffet. I love going to the buffet section. It doesn't matter what ship we're on, be it Marston's Market, Cabanas, whatever it is, or even the pool deck. I don't care. The wife likes a little bit more of the sit down, calmer environment.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm also the social person out of the two of us, and so I talk and run into people.
Yeah.
Oh, that beef empanada is so good. Yeah. Well, and the good cheesecake is on the Dream, not on the Destiny. That cheesecake on the Destiny, and I'm for those folks who don't know, if you haven't heard me talk about the Oreo cheesecake before. The sit down lunch on the original 4 ships has like the best dessert, I think, like across the fleet, like in main dining. Of course, there's I love pool deck ice cream. I love, Palo has some great desserts, but that Oreo cheesecake, they just call it like cookies and cream cheesecake, but it's only, you need to have, it's got to be that wedge one, the one that looks like a triangle, like a regular piece of cheesecake. yeah, on only the 4 classic ships, the version they have one on the Wish class. It's trash. It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried it in the buffet, the like cookies and cream, but it was the like moussey round one.
Yes,
And I
it's
was like,
like the one on the it's like the one on the so the one that they have in the buffet, it's okay, but it's more similar to the what they serve on the Wish class. It's like a more of a mousse than really of a cheesecake. Yeah. Not a
I
cheesecake.
will say one advantage to us not doing the sit down portion of it, at least on the Destiny. I don't know how long they'll keep this up. Is when we're on the Destiny, characters were just walking around a lot on the pool deck.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. On the pool deck. Oh, on
We
embarkation
met
day.
Stitch, Mickey. Was Goofy or Pluto? There was another they were just walking around and they would pick a random kid obviously to walk with them or say hi and it was
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because you don't see them out on the pool deck that much. I mean, you see them for the sail away party, and then they'll do like some scheduled meet and greets on the pool deck on the classic ships, but you don't see them out on the pool deck so much on the Wish class because they don't really do. There's not a place like there is on the classic ships where they do that like character meet and pictures. So yeah, that's awesome to have them sort of roaming is really, really fun because then you can get a quick picture and a quick little visit and those character interactions are super fun. I think, of course you get the great food on the Wish class, but you guys when you'd been on the fantasy previously, had the cantina yet? Probably the cantina hadn't been put in. So this was probably, So you had this
before when the dry dock.
Yeah. So you had it on the Dream though this time around. Did you make sure to hit up that cantina on the pool deck?
Of course I did. Yeah, gotta go hit the cantina up. It's definitely one of my favorites to go get items. Something about these 2 cruises, we actually had my mom join us and she actually stayed in the room with us. So she went on her first Disney cruise on the Treasure in December with us with her husband and my sister. And then she just retired. And so she's like, hey, would you mind? And so, we just said, hey, come on. So she joined us in this one. Yeah. So I made a lot of runs up to the Pizza Shack for her, getting pizza for our late night.
Nice. I got to ask then, stateroom, because of course, if you got 5 people in the room, you have limited options. I mean, there is a stateroom. I take it you did a deluxe family veranda stateroom, since I think that's the only one outside of concierge that fits 5 people. Yeah. So you guys, of course, have the bed. The kids, I'm guessing, are doing the bunk bed, meaning the upper bunk bed, and then the couch bed. Your mom did the Murphy bed?
Yes. Which I will say that the one on the Dream didn't have the storage next to it, but the Destiny did have the storage. And so that was actually nice.
And a little light in there.
A little light.
Yeah. You can plug things in.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah. Because when you have 5 people in a stateroom, plugs are at a premium. I do think they've done a better job on the Wish class with putting more of those. The USB-C plugs are kind of everywhere now, but it's still a limited number that are near the beds, right? So if you want to plug in like your phone, if you have an Apple Watch, something like that, you have a limited number of plugs everywhere. And so finding a plug near the bed is the challenge. It's not finding a plug, but finding one near the bed. Yeah.
So I might be a little bit of the technical side person out of the 2 of us, and I will research like the layouts of outlets to determine what I need to bring and adapters that are
the
needed.
magic bands for the
the magic bands. I forget that too. The magic bands, you got to, because I will say when we have the 3 of us, right? I don't usually bring 3 magic band chargers. I usually bring like 2 and kind of rotate through them because you don't necessarily need to, charge every one every night, but you do need to make sure you rotate because if somebody's magic band is dead, then you can't do can't do the happy hunt game, at least on the Destiny. Yeah.
The kids actually talking about the Dream and the Fantasy. Our kids actually absolutely love the detective games on the Dream and Fantasy. They are obsessed with they're disappointed that they're not, even though they have the haunts and that's
a good second time.
Yeah, but they absolutely love the detective games more than they do those. Yeah. Speaking of the Dream and Fantasy, that's one of their favorite.
Well, your kids are right. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, objectively speaking, the best game across the fleet, in my personal opinion, and I am an authority on this because I've played all of them. But the best game is the Midship Detective Agency on the Dream and the Fantasy. I still think that rather than spending all that money developing the Uncharted Adventure, which was just really a bust, they should have just put the Midship Detective Agency. Yeah, it's still glitchy, still doesn't work well. Happy Hunt works better, sometimes glitchy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we had issues with like some of them, like the Magic Band, sometimes picking it up or not for the.
But then the artwork wouldn't do anything sometimes for the Happy Hunts, but more often than not, it worked compared to like the Midship.
Yeah.
Or I mean, the Uncharted Adventure.
Yeah.
Uncharted Adventure, yeah. So for those who don't know, the Uncharted Adventure was the game first introduced on the Wish, and then it's on the Wish, the Treasure and the Destiny, but it's quite glitchy. You have to use a phone with it, and it doesn't sync well, and it's just very difficult to use. It freezes a lot, and then on just the Destiny and the Treasure, there is now a newer game called the Haunted Mansion Happy Hunt, which requires a Magic Band Plus, and it has to be a pretty much fully charged Magic Band Plus to be able to use it. Yeah, and it has to be updated too.
Yeah, and updated. Yeah, the number of cruisers that were updating their Magic Bands while we're on the ship. Yeah, especially sitting at port while we at least had connection before we went out to sea. Yeah, we were in line and talking to somebody, and like they were working on all their two kids' bands updating because they had to get new ones. Speaking of which, we ended up having to get a new one because our sons decided to glitch out and die on this cruise. So he wasn't too upset.
It was a couple years old.
Yeah, we did learn something.
They do eventually. So Magic Bands do eventually die. I mean, you can some of them last many years, and some of them seem to only last a couple of years. And I don't necessarily see a rhyme and reason behind it, but they aren't like forever devices. So yeah. So I recommend, like, if you are, if you have a really old one, well, maybe bring that newer one or be willing to buy that newer one. If you really, if you really are dead set on using a Magic Band on board. Of course, you don't have to use a Magic Band on board, but it's the only way you can play the Happy Hunt game on those two ships. Well, I'd love to talk about, some of the things you guys got up to on the Dream, and then we'll jump over to the Destiny. And I want to talk a little bit about the transition, the side to side transition. You guys didn't have it same day, so it's going to be obviously different than folks who are transitioning on the day of. But what kind of stuff did you guys get up to on the Dream? What were some of the favorites that you guys did beyond, obviously, you mentioned the Midship Detective Agency, and you guys hadn't seen Beauty and the Beast before? Yeah. So. Oh, you saw it on the Treasure. That's right. You were on the Treasure first. That's actually so backwards to me. But I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I just it's just odd to me because obviously the Beauty and the Beast has been on the Dream for years. But of course,
we actually did make that a priority to see, at least for having my mom on the ship, and we saw it on there. My daughter actually
that's her favorite.
That's her favorite one. Yeah. Loves Beauty and the Beast. Loves it. My mom loves it.
I'm just liking your kids more and more, you guys. Like, your kids are just like, they have good taste, clearly. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that we're hating on the other shows. It's just that one, I don't know. There's so much that goes on. If you've not seen it, you have to make it a priority to go see Beauty and the Beast. There's so much action. You have to appreciate the amount of the characters that are up there that are moving pieces around, getting set, props, all that. It's absolutely incredible. And to me, I'll be honest, two of the best characters usually are like some of the supporting roles. Like Miss Potts to us on the Treasure one was great, but on this one it was Luminaire and I can't even say his name. I'm sorry. Luminaire and Cogsworth were killer on the Dream. I'm just incredible.
No, we had something interesting on.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The night the Beauty and the Beast was supposed to happen, it got canceled for our later showing because we did the first dining and later showing. And so then they said, did it the next night. But I guess something had happened to Cogsworth because he was not in the show at all.
Yeah.
And so they did Lumiere basically took up any lines that Cogsworth would, send her to watch. Yeah, sort of. That was really interesting.
Yeah, that is super interesting because obviously that's not what the show is supposed to be. But I think it's kind of wonderful that they did that because obviously that person got like injured or sick or something like that, right? So that's why they couldn't do that second show and then didn't do the show the next night. But you don't want to disappoint all the cruisers and cancel the show completely. I mean, I would rather see Beauty and the Beast without a character. Now you can't have it without Belle or without the Beast, obviously, right? Like there's some limitation, right? Like I hope they have an understudy for Belle or for the Beast, right? But like I would rather see the show without Cogsworth than not see it at all, even though I think Cogsworth is a fantastic character and puppet and all of that in the show. But yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the other activities. So you of course made a priority to see Beauty and the Beast because it is a technological wonder. It is a set design wonder. Of course, it's a wonderful story. Disney does it fantastic in general. But yeah, great plan prioritizing that if you're on the Dream or the Treasure. But tell me what other stuff you guys enjoyed doing on the Dream.
Well, my daughter and mother-in-law really love doing like all the arts and crafts.
Oh yeah.
On both ships, but then the kids also love doing the putt.
Oh my gosh, the number of times we play putt.
My son wanted to play it. Did he play it like 6?
That was just in one day. We play, I think, a total of 10 in a row, like one other day. But I mean, between rotating between putt and doing either the aqua duck or the aqua mouse, right?
Yeah.
Which he loves both. He has no complaints. His only question was like, hey, which one are we having for the ship? Is it aqua duck or aqua mouse?
Yeah.
So
we like the aqua duck better.
Yeah, we like the aqua duck a little bit better. Not necessarily because we don't like the shows. It's just I love the floating tube as you're going by. So those who don't like, if you haven't been on one, like one of the subtle differences is on the Fantasy and Dream, right? You have that clear tube that you kind of do like a lazy river,
slower,
and slower, and so you can see over in there. And that's really cool compared to the aqua mouse where you're going a lot faster, but it's closed most of it. But yeah, that's all he cares about. Putt, and he cares about like how many times can we do the aqua mouse or aqua duck. I think we did 20, not like
in a row.
No, we got
the whole ship
for one day we did 20, but in a row we got like 15.
Yeah,
because we always go at second dinner, and there's no one up there.
Right. So you can be, yeah. Well, and with the Dream though, you have to keep going up the stairs every time. That's the only, you get a good work. Yeah. You'll get a good workout doing it on the Dream. You get no workout doing it on the Wish class, because if there's nobody in line and you are on the raft, you just stay on the raft because it's a loop. It's a full loop with on the Wish class, whereas on the Dream and the Fantasy is not a loop. You end at the bottom, and so yeah. Right, exactly. That cantina, right? You got to work off Ramon's cantina or the pizza or the cheesecake. Exactly. There's so much to work off. I love that. I love that.
Like mother-in-law and I did the champagne tasting the first day. That was nice for embarkation.
So she's leaving a key thing out. It was her birthday.
Oh, that day, yeah.
It was her birthday, and so like with the Dream was actually her birthday selling. So like we were on it for her actual birthday, and so she got the spot. Speaking of Dream and Fantasy, that's one of her favorite areas on the Dream.
Oh, the rainforest. Yes. I like the one where you could look out on the ocean, up a dry sauna, or they have the little hot tubs you can look out on the ocean too. Yeah, I prefer the rainforest Dream on the Dream class for sure.
So she has a lot of things on the Dream.
You got a lot of pampering on the Dream that you got to do, Lauren. I love that.
I have to give I
treated my mother-in-law too. Yeah, she came.
I have to give a shout out to our room host because they actually made her a birthday cake out of the towels.
Oh.
So
instead of a towel animal, you got a towel birthday cake. That's fantastic. I love that. The Dove chocolates and maybe some chocolate coins. Yeah. That's awesome. That's
she got she got that, and she got some of the Disney roads. That was one of the things we did in the pay upgrade for. Is I got her the Disney roads.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Awesome. That sounds fantastic. Sounds like a lovely way to celebrate a birthday, of course. Now, did you guys do any of the adult dining on the Dream? Because you have obviously Remy and you have Paulo available on the Dream. And we'll talk about the Destiny because you have Enchante and Paulo available on the Destiny. But yeah, did you get to do any of those?
Oh, yeah. So Paulo's my favorite restaurant. So we did brunch on my birthday.
On our birthday.
This was a C day.
Yeah.
And then we did dinner, pirate night, I think we did. So yeah, it was great.
It's basically a requirement. At this point, we just budget for it, and it's
nice. Every sailing, you have to do both Paulo. Like if Paulo brunch and dinner.
She will do her best to get brunch, right? Obviously, that's a harder one to sometimes get, but at a minimum, she wants brunch. That's her preferred one.
If not, I'll do the dinners like still really good too.
Yeah, dinner's the backup, right? So if you can't get brunch, you for sure are going to do dinner, but you'd rather do both, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we did. So we did Paulo 3 times between the Dream and the Destiny.
She had 4. I said, we need one. One's got to drop.
Yeah. It's a lot, especially like we have done it where we have booked like back in the day on the Fantasy, we would book like Paulo brunch, Paulo dinner, Remy brunch, Remy dinner. Inevitably, we would cancel 1 or 2 because we're like, it's just too much food. Like we would just because you just forget like how much food there is both in main dining and the buffet. And then you're adding like these specialty dinners and brunches on top of it. And you're just like, I don't know that I could eat that much. It's just, it becomes a little
bigger than my stomach often. So
Exactly. All right. Well, I'd love to pivot here and talk about the Destiny because I think it's great to compare the two, of course, but just to talk about the Destiny, and I'd love to hear about how your kids enjoyed the Destiny. We talked, a lot about how there's a lot of very adult-focused activities on the Destiny, a lot of family-friendly ones as well, but there is some adult-exclusive entertainment on the Destiny that's a little bit different.
Are you listening to our show because you want to make the most out of your next vacation? Great news, the fabulous team over at My Path Unwinding Travel can help guide you so you don't miss a thing. Their team of professional travel advisors are caring, knowledgeable, and experienced. It's why we use them to book our own travel. My Path Unwinding Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, which means they are recognized by Disney for their expertise and service. They have sailed on all the Disney ships, including in concierge, visited the theme parks, adventured with Disney, relaxed at Aulani, and so much more. Whether it's a Disney cruise, a theme park vacation, or Adventures by Disney, or if you are looking to expand beyond the mouse, My Path Unwinding Travel will elevate your next vacation planning experience. Even if you have already booked, reach out for a complimentary consultation to make your vacation even more magical. Ready to talk to the experts? Head over to mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo or email dclduo@mypathunwinding.com so they know we sent you their way. Thanks, My Path Unwinding, for sponsoring today's show. Now back to the episode.
Let's talk about your in between, right? So you guys are debarking the Dream. You're going to a hotel for the night, and then you're getting on the Destiny. Now, because you have a day in between, I'm imagining Disney's not doing any coordination of anything for you. Am I right? Yeah. So if you're doing now, we've done a couple of shows to talk about side by sides, Dream to Destiny, where you have the same day switch over. And if that's happening, you will get communication from Disney Cruise Line on the last night of your sailing to kind of give you some information, and they will typically board you a little bit early. So if you're in a later boarding group, you might get bumped up to group 2, which is basically the Pearl Cruiser group. But yeah, let's talk about where did you guys go for that day that you had in between?
So we went to, I forget which brand hotel it was. Do you remember which one it was?
Oh, the same one we stayed at the first night.
Right.
So we went back to the Hilton.
Yeah. But we paid, I think it was there was a price that we paid extra to go ahead and get checked into the room a little bit earlier. Yeah. And again, that does mean their room has to be available, or the room has to be available, of course. So it was awesome. So we went right up, like we literally got there after we did disembark. We also used the hospitality transportation service that they had at the hotel. It wasn't very expensive. They were $12 a person. They took us from there to the hotel. Very easy. And and our luggage and a lot of luggage. And we basically were able to go right up to our hotel room and have an easy stay. Now, one of the things that I thought was awesome is I made it a priority to get up the next morning to make sure I saw the ships coming in. So I knew what time to kind of expect to get up for the Destiny coming into port the next morning. And so I got up to see the ships coming into port while everybody else was sleeping. We also had a fun little adventure where our son decided that he would like to really wiggle his tooth and lose one in between. So we had that adventure too as well.
Wait, a special tooth fairy at sea. Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, did the tooth fairy have to appear on the ship?
Just a ship special tooth fairy, not our regular tooth fairy.
Yeah, right. A ship, right? Exactly. Because the tooth fairy might deliver something different on the ship than they might deliver at home. That makes total sense to me because you're on vacation, and of course, you basically have Tinkerbell and the tooth fairy probably working together, right?
Oh, yes, that should have been
Yes.
That day we just kind of chilled by the pool and then just up in our room, took a nap. And then my parents actually arrived because they came on the second.
Oh my gosh! So you went from having so you went from having one grandparent to having 3 grandparents.
Yes.
Yeah.
With connecting rooms.
Yeah. So we got a connecting room, connecting balcony.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, because our son loves the more room you can give our son to play, the better it is.
Yes.
So that gave him more, and he thought it was awesome that the balcony was.
So long.
So long. Yes, that's what he
Oh,
says.
yeah, because you could open. Yeah. So depending upon the room, not every room can do this, but if you have connecting rooms or if you have just rooms next door to one another, you can always ask the stateroom attendant whether or not the barrier between the verandas can be opened up. And some of them are fixed and some of them are not fixed. If you're really intent on figuring it all out, you can find resources on the internet that will tell you which ones are fixed and which ones can be opened up. But yeah, with connecting rooms, that is often one of the things you can do. And then you can actually, instead of opening the connecting door, the kids can actually go on the balcony to get it from one room to the other. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah, I bet. Now, did you keep the same people in the same rooms? Meaning, did your mom Chase still stay with you all, and the kids stayed all with you all, and then your folks, Lauren, were in the room next door? So they got the better end of the deal out of that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, none of the kids even stayed over there. They stayed in our rooms.
Yeah, they offered.
Yeah. Actually, surprisingly, one thing I do have to say that we didn't talk about was that while we all love the split bathrooms on Disney, our kids actually loved the Dream one better in the shower because they thought it was so cool that it had a sit down and the round and the circle tub. They thought that was so cool as a little side piece of that. But the Destiny, like I said, I liked it because it felt like it had a little bit more room to get around at least. And I think it was also nice having that extra storage. Having that, my mom in there, she actually had some shelves for her to be able to put some stuff in. I think that was a big deal for us. But of course, you gotta love their beds, right? You can put all the suitcases underneath there.
Yeah.
And we've learned how to make sure. I might have realized early on that you always got to nest some suitcases so that you have the extra suitcase for stuff.
For
souvenirs. We definitely filled up a suitcase or more.
Yeah.
Going between 2 ships. So
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're wearing some of your souvenirs right now for those watching on video. I mean, you've got, hats and shirts and yeah.
Yes. So she's got her nargle ones. I will say it was, I did ask them on the Dream, it was actually, they just rotated out new clothing. So they were only out for a little bit.
Oh, that was a
new release.
Dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like they keep releasing new collections kind of periodically, not just as the fleet grows, but in general, just to kind of do little refreshes, right, of what what merchandise they have. But then, of course, as the fleet grows, now they've got some merchandise I've seen from the Adventure that's got all 8 ships, design that shows all 8 ships, and I'm sure they're rolling that out to the rest of the fleet as time goes on as well. I will say, I don't love the collection that has it's like kind of a circle and it has all the ships across the chest or the back. It's not my favorite collection, but they didn't ask me. So
My daughter got the one that had the stitch all the way around with it had ice creams in each of its hands. That was about the only one.
see that I would love. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah, I mean, Stitch has a bunch of different hands, so you can, so that's perfect. Well, let's talk about embarkation. Well, how early actually, Chase, did you get up, and about what time did the ship come into port? Because that's awesome to watch.
So let's talk that through a little bit. So if you're wanting to see the ships come in and you've got one of those great views, you will need to be up somewhere around like 4:30, 4:45, and they'll be coming in. The Dream, so if they come in together, because there are certain days where the Destiny and Dream come in together, the Destiny will always get the Disney dock, which is 2. So you'll see a great side if you stay at the hotel we stayed at, you'll get a great side profile of it. So speaking of which, when we actually got on the Dream and Destiny were at port, and so we actually had to go to a second different terminal to board the Dream. And then when we came back, we actually got off at the Disney port or Disney portion, and then when we boarded back for the Destiny, we were obviously back in there. But about 4:45, the ships all came in, and it was really cool getting to see it come in, and of course also seeing it leave. Being on the ship as it left also was really cool.
And we took Disney Transport at that time to get on the Destiny.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get on a little bit earlier, just because we, the newer ship and
got to get the most explore. You got all the exploring. You only got 5 days, so you got to get all that you can.
It wasn't that much difference. It was like $15 a person.
Yeah,
the Destiny one.
As opposed to $12 from the hotel. That's good. It's because it's really, it's super, super close. All those hotels are so close. As you mentioned, you could see the ship from your hotel and you can request, a view of the port, all of that. We stayed actually at that same Hilton, the Hilton Marina when we were in Fort Lauderdale the last time. Definitely convenient, nice enough hotel, all of the things. But I think we had, trying to remember, I think we took an Uber because because we're Pearl, we always get the earliest, port arrival time. And so we don't worry about, what transportation, but it is a great tip. If you are going to get a later group because your castaway status is lower or you have no castaway status, your best option for getting an early boarding group or an early port arrival time is using Disney transportation. So let's talk about the Destiny. You had been on the Treasure and the Wish, so you knew what to expect in terms of the Grand Hall being different than the atrium on the first 4 ships. But I got to ask, what were your impressions when you walked onto the Disney Destiny and you see the vibranium chandelier, very different style Grand Hall than the other 2 Wish class ships?
It's just incredible.
So you don't get that. So when you first board the ship, you have to remember, if you compare it to the Treasure and you look at it, you're going, wow, this is very
simpler,
neutral and simple. But
seems kind of plain, right? When you first enter.
Right. But they really get you later when they start doing a lot of the different shows. And that's what people, I think, have to realize is when, for the Destiny, yes, the Grand Hall is not going to blow you away with all the pretty mosaics and just ooh and ahs, or like some of the chandeliers. I'll be honest, you end up calling the chandelier French fry chandelier on there, stuck in ice cream. That's what we got for that piece of it. Anyway, but the lighting effects, just absolutely incredible. If you need to make sure you catch as many of those shows. Even, I'll be honest, when they do the royal gathering for the princesses out there, like each of them, they change the lights in the room
for each princess
that comes out. Like that's where it shines. That's the reason why it's neutral colors, is because that's where it lets the change. And also Pirate Night, you've got to see the Kiss Goodnight on Pirate Night.
Yes.
Absolutely great on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think it goes at about 7:30 p.m. I don't know if it goes at some other time, but I caught it.
5 o'clock.
Oh, 5 o'clock. Okay.
It was the first one. And then there was another one at 7 or something.
Something like that. Yeah. 7:30.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I didn't know there was a 5 o'clock one, but yeah, for those listening, like you may not be in the grand hall at 7:30 because that's when Mickey's Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever it's called, pirate party is up on deck. So I guess 5:00, if you're down in the grand hall, you'll get to see. It is great. It's a great lighting effect, and you get the Pirates of the Caribbean music. It's I thought really, really good. I really liked the Sleeping Beauty, really Maleficent version, and the Wakanda version as well. I don't know if there are others. Those are the only 3 I have thus far been able to catch myself and verify. But yeah, all of them really, really good. The only thing that was frustrating was that the cast members couldn't tell me when any of them were going to happen.
Yeah, I would agree with that. As you don't really know. I think one of the surprising was for us as well as a little bit of a spoiler is like Cruella's what is it, the fashion show. We couldn't find it on the listed anywhere, and so like it just was kind of like randomly happened while we were at Castaway. No, which island was it?
Cozumel.
Was it Cozumel? It was at one of the islands that or one of our stops that they actually had the fashion show. So it was kind of empty for it. But to get into the Destiny a little bit more, I made sure to catch most of the Cruella stuff. I thought was awesome. All her events are incredible. Anytime with Loki's also incredible.
Yeah, I loved all the Loki things. And any of the storytellers. Like any opportunity I had to like encounter a lot of storytellers. They were awesome.
So good. So good. Now you guys saw still the original Destiny 1 cast because you were on in February. And so we're recording in mid-March, but you were on in February. And so yeah, you guys got to see Destiny Cast 1. I still haven't heard any reviews about Destiny Cast 2. I'm sure they'll be great, but they'll never be the same as the original. I hate saying that, but it's true. But because Zaya and Gamble, I'm going to always picture them as Jessica and Nick. Those are their actual names. They're just phenomenal storytellers, and of course all those shows. Yeah, let's talk about some of the ones you got to see. So you got to see Cruella's Wretched Runway, the fashion show that takes place in the Grand Hall. Did you get to see both the Legend of Loki and Celebration of a King, which of course is T'Challa and Loki show?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, did you get to see Cruella's treble making in the?
Oh yeah, I made sure that was a priority. Like I think we were down in I was in that room probably a solid hour and a half before.
We had some time to go in between dinner and I think it was at like 9 or something. So everything else we're planning on doing. So we just kind of chill it after dinner or between something.
Yeah. And it worked out great because we actually ran into a couple of our friends that live not far from us here, actually. We didn't book the trip with them. Like they just happened to, we realized it.
Yeah.
Like maybe a month before that we were all going on the same cruise.
And our kids love playing on the kids club together.
Yeah. So they had a friend in the kids club. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you guys end up linking up for dining or anything, or did you just let the chips fall where they may in terms of that?
Yeah, we let the chips fall where they were, but like we did, like obviously like that, the show that we went to, we would try to get together on those things, but we did a good job. And like our kids always found each other to play. Both of them.
Yeah, we just coordinate like, hey, Luke wants to go to the kids club. What does people want to do?
Yeah.
Smart. Absolutely.
And they loved it. So it was incredible. We definitely try to catch as many of the shows. We made it a priority. We might have even passed at the Celebrate party just to make sure we got a good spot for
the
Loki.
Mm-hmm.
The initial Loki, which for those, if you're looking for a great spot to give a little spot away, if you're the staircase on.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've already scoped it out ahead of time, like figuring out where to be, like because you want a great view of all of it. Like I love being on deck. I think it was deck where you come in, deck 3. So that
we were on deck 4.
Deck 4.
Yeah.
Just anywhere where you can kind of see the stairs or where you can see them coming down.
Yeah, you don't want to be where I was, which is like at the very top of the stairs on deck 4, because you will see Loki, but you will see his back for most of the time if you stand where you'll be in other people's YouTube videos, because I'm in a whole bunch of YouTube videos because
the key is the guest service or area. If you stand on that side, that's the kind of the sweet spot that it felt like. And so we might have prioritized making sure we made it to that for sure. Of course, we had to get in. We made sure to hit the Aqua mouse to catch the new show too.
Oh, then the villains version. I forget what it's called, but
It's
Sing a silly song.
Sing the silly song.
Is what
It's
it's
not.
titled. Yeah.
It's not Heroes of Villain.
yes, it says sing a silly song, but then it's like something like then colon villains mountain or something, right? Like there's always a colon. It's like, every Disney show, even like the, with great power, right? Like all of them have like a name colon some other name, right? Same with it's just every Zaya and Gamble show has that too. It seems like I got to ask about With Great Power, which is the, of course, adult only Marvel show on the Disney Destiny that takes place in Saga. It is the counter to the Indiana Jones Choose Wisely on the Treasure. Now, I'm guessing you guys probably saw that in December. Did you see, well, I guess I don't know because you guys have kids and sometimes the kids are okay with going to the kids club and you ditching them
That's
for
what
a couple
grandparents
hours.
for on this cruise. So
There
we
you
got what
go.
the grandparents were like, we're not staying out late. We'll gladly take the kids.
Nice. I love it. I love that. All right. Well, so what did you think of, well, one, let's start with, are you guys big Marvel fans? Because I know you prioritize seeing the Loki stuff, but like, is that because you heard it was so good from listening to our show, or was it because you actually are big Marvel fans?
A mixture. So I would say Marvel Light. I haven't seen all the Marvel, universe movies or shows. But we had watched the first season of Loki on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I like, a lot of the Thor and, that storyline. And so, we really liked the With Great Power. I thought it was better, in my opinion, than the Indiana Jones.
See, I like the Indiana Jones better.
Yeah.
See, I'm more Indiana Jones. Nothing against what they put on. They did a great job.
Yeah.
We actually did get the exact same seats on both of them because we were first in line. And me being social, love, and interaction, went for the front row. They're both of them. So we got great experience with both of them. We actually did get to know the characters a little bit more outside of it, and it was awesome. But yeah, I absolutely love both of them. But I would say this is where we're a little split on this one. I love Indiana Jones a little bit more.
I'm okay with that. I think they're actually really both fantastic shows. I don't. I'll be honest. I'll give it a toss up between the two. I think Brian definitely more prefers the Indiana Jones. I think it's because he, as a kid, connects so much to Indiana Jones. Yeah, and I think that's part of it. But I also think the interactivity part in the Indiana Jones show is more integrated, and the Marvel show is a little less integrated. And that again, not a criticism, just a slight difference, right? And so I think he probably would prefer the Indiana Jones one. I think I might have a slight preference for the Marvel one like Lauren does. And I think it's funny to say this, but it's more about the dancing and the Deadpool at the end part that really just cracks me up, that I just, but I love both. I like I would probably give them a tie, but if I had to choose, I'd give that slight edge to the Marvel version, just for.
I think you made a good point. I think it has to do with I grew up with that's what I watched. So that one hits home and tugs a little bit more compared.
Well, I like Indiana Jones too.
Yeah, I do too. But it's still I think it's just a little boy adventurer thing, right? It's just that connection to Indiana Jones is a little stronger, perhaps for our male partners than it is for us, Lauren. But all right, well, let's. Yeah, we do love. Who doesn't love? For me, Cap is number one, but Thor can be number two on the list. I think Cap. I love both Caps. Steve Rogers is the number one. Sam Wilson is the number two. I love them both, but Steve is always going to be my favorite Cap. But that's really just about Chris Evans. Let's be totally honest. So
there you go. There is that.
That's the confession. No question. Brian's not on the show, so I can say whatever I want here. I want to know about what your kids thought of the Destiny and whether they did some of the character meet and plays or character, just picture interaction ones, right? Like, were they into it? Because I always question, right? Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show. The show has a ton for adults, has tons for families too, but I think it has these like additional things for adult entertainment that the other ships don't have, versus the activities for the kids are more similar to what is on the other ships. Yeah, what did the kids think? Lauren, why don't you start there?
Okay. My daughter loved the actual like meet and greet with Maleficent. I really wanted to meet her because of, growing up with Sleeping Beauty, was one of my favorites. And, but she was like, actually, I really enjoyed that. She asked me like, what was my talent to bring to her army or something.
Oh, yeah. The Army of Darkness, right?
Yeah. And Amelia answered, well, I'm really creative and can draw well. And she's like, oh, what would be helpful? So she really appreciated that. But they didn't really seek them out necessarily. But they loved, the roaming of the characters. They, he's enjoyed that. What do you think, Jake?
I agree with her. Like our kids, I don't know how many others experience this. Blue could take it or leave it when it comes to the character meet and greets. He's more about like, what can I do in Kids Club and who can I meet and what friends can I make? Because he doesn't fall far from his dad's tree line on that one. My daughter, on the other hand, is a little bit shy, more, careful about it. But once she meets one of the characters, she loves it. Like I would say, even like Lauren was talking about, like the roaming around, or when she meets
Mel, just after just doing Bippity Boppity, she was in a yellow dress, one of the same color as Belle's dress. And then Elle was just roaming around in her blue, regular dress. Then they talked about books and, so it was just like, oh, I remember that moment.
Oh, I love that. Those are the best. The impromptu moments often are those best, character interactions. Did you guys end up doing Dr. Facilier, either the parlor or the meet and greet?
No, partially because like every time it didn't line up necessarily well enough for us to do some of that, and man, was that line long for his
right for every time. Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
Cruise, it looked lighter,
right?
Like near say 4 or 5,
Yeah, don't try to go the first couple of days. Like that was the one chance I probably had, and I was like, nope. That somebody's already beat me to this, and this line is way too long.
Yes, we had more fun.
Yeah, it's a tough call because like you got to figure out like prioritizing, right? Like the regular meet and greet is great, but if he's not like your favorite character, you might want to prioritize something else over that. The meet and play where he does the parlor trick is also great, but it's a very short interaction. So you're going to wait in line for a very short interaction, and it's cool, but like, again, you got to figure out like what are your priorities. And if you want to see, if treble making is your priority, which is a much longer experience in DeVille's lounge, or, going to see With Great Power, or going to see the atrium shows, like for sure, like it's, got to figure out what are my priorities and what are my would be nice to do's, right? And if the thing that's a nice to do has a really long line, I think skip it, right? Well, I want to hear about you went to Palo a third time. No, on the Destiny. Did you do dinner or did you do brunch on your 5-night?
Oh, actually, I misspoke earlier. We only did brunch on the Dream, and then on the Destiny, since we had more of our family, we did brunch and dinner since they hadn't experienced both of those.
Yeah. Nice. Now, what dinner did you end up missing? Because you don't have a pirate menu on the Destiny. Yeah. So what
we ended up doing what we thought was going to be our pirate night, which was pirate night, but before we knew the whole, there's not an actual pirate menu.
Yeah, only on the 5-night sailings. For those listening or watching, only the 4-night sailings on the Destiny have a pirate menu. The 5-night sailings on the Destiny, you'll actually hit the other restaurants and get their second rotational menu for 2 of the restaurants, whichever 2 that you repeat. So yeah, what did you end up missing?
We ended up missing Marvel, which was our kind of, so we asked ahead of time, which, plug on our travel agent. She did great. And we actually got our rotational one, which was Pride Lands, then 1923, then Marvel, and then again, you repeated again, then Pride Lands, then 1923.
So we missed Marvel for ours, and that's okay because we've already kind of alluded to, we did the Treasure and we did both nights at Marvel, which were awesome to kind of get both those back in for those.
That's very smart. I think if you've done Marvel on the Wish or on the Treasure, now on the Wish, it's the other show, but you will have at least experienced the restaurant. It's actually the same menu for one of the nights in Marvel on the Destiny. It's weird. So if you're looking at the Treasure, you've got a night 1 menu and a night 1 show and a night 2 menu and a night 2 show on the Treasure. On the Destiny, if you're on a 4-night sailing, you're going to have the night 1 menu and the night 2 show from the Treasure on the Destiny. So I was not happy about that because I really actually like the night 2 menu from the Treasure. That's my favorite Marvel menu. I think it's a better this. Yeah, that salmon dish is like, oh, so good. And there's a good scallop dish also, shrimp dish. Both are really, really good. And I'm not usually one to, I'm tend to be a land orderer, not a sea orderer, but both of those are actually like my two of my favorite dishes on the Treasure. I got to ask about Pride Lands, of course, because this is your first time on the Destiny. You get Pride Lands twice. So you got the menu for night 1, you got the menu for the Pride Lands night 2 menu. What did you think of the food? And of course, what did you think of the show on Pride Lands on night 1?
I really loved the food. The show was great. My kids enjoyed the show too. And yeah, I loved both menus, honestly, night 1 and night 2. I found things on both of them that I really liked. Probably more things I liked savory wise on night 1. And that creamsicle cheesecake was really good. You like creamsicle? I remember that.
Nice. That's definitely one of Brian's things. I hate creamsicles. I think they're gross, but I just always have, like, I don't, the creamsicle pops are those orange and vanilla popsicle things. I've always thought they were gross. Brian thinks they're awesome. So if you like a creamsicle pop, you will like that cheesecake. If you don't like a creamsicle pop, you will not like that cheesecake. So that's the only recommendation there. All right. Well, I've got to ask now, did the kids like the Destiny as much as they liked the Dream? That's my real big question here, because I know you mentioned that they're not sort of going to run around seeing characters, like it's not a priority for them. It's more about the experiences in the kids club or doing things as a family. But like, do they have a preference between the 2 ships? So you also got to do some of the midship detective agency, and you mentioned you did do the Happy Hunt on the Destiny.
I mean, if you ask our son, he's going to tell you the Dream of the Fantasy is his favorite because he's into more video games. My daughter is excited because next time she goes on one of those, she'll be in Edge, and so she's pumped about that gets the front section of the ship. Of course, if they don't change that at all. But by the end of the cruise, Luke was actually singing praise about the Destiny. And so that was kind of the surprise to us, because he was like, I'm really going to miss being able to go play games. But I think it really came down to being able to have a friend in there and being, and having someone on the ship he could go around with, because he really was running around with him on the ship. We had to track him down so many times.
Yeah.
Amelia just doesn't have a preference. She just says, I just want to be on a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
She is. Love it. She's a love the one you're with. I love it.
Yeah. So sorry to whoever she gets with later.
Yeah.
We may have set a standard, and there's no such thing as a different ship after Disney.
Right. Sorry, yeah. Amelia's future spouse, you are going to have to go on Disney cruises regardless. That's just what's going to happen.
She would like to know when I'm getting a job there so she can get discounts and go on more as well.
I love it. Well, you never know. You never know what the future holds. I love that. All right. Well, have we missed anything big on the Destiny that you guys wanted to chat about, that you experienced that with either good, bad, surprising? Doesn't have to be, otherwise I'm going to move I'm gonna move over to rapid fire then. If there's nothing
We
else.
need to talk back actually on the dream about Bluey.
Oh, Bluey! Thank you for reminding me. I meant we pre-show but talked about the fact that you got the events with Bluey on the dream. I'm sorry I forgot. Thank you, Lauren, for reminding me.
Chat about other things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so Bluey is now on the Disney Dream. Bluey was originally on the Wonder for the Australia-New Zealand sailings, but then they brought her on, Bluey and Bingo, actually. Bingo is her little sister, onto the ships. People don't know that Bluey's a female. Sorry, if you don't watch the show, you know that she's a female.
I honestly didn't know until when I first started here. So.
Yeah, I get it. And so she does like these 2 events. Am I right? She does a more like Wakey Wakey and then a Pajama Party, or is there another one?
Wakey, a Pajama Party. So Wakey.
There's 2. The first
Pajama Party's at night. Wakey Wakey's up in the morning. A different day, and then she does something in the kids' club.
So she did it. Well, there's a couple of different things. When you first board the ship, you actually can have a bingo meet. So Bluey meet, not bingo, Bluey meet. Yeah, and so
like booked an app.
Like no, like
it's an offering with character meet.
A character meet free. Like as soon as you board, like it's one of the embarkation-day things.
It's not sailing.
Yeah, and she was in is on the dream. Is it called the D Lounge? What's D Lounge? Yeah, and so they completely turned all the walls into her room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could just go on embarkation day, get your meet and greet, get your picture. Holy cow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So like now there's no, I got that wrong. There's no bingo. It's only Bluey at least on ours. It was only Bluey. And, but yeah, like.
And on the,
they actually had it listed wrong in the app because a lot of people were lining up in the wrong location. And they're like, no, it's always going to be in. And they bring it, so it's always going to be on D Lounge. So even if you see on the app, Bingo will meet in the Bingo and Bluey stuff will always be in the D Lounge based on what the cast members are to.
Yeah.
I think they have some kind of agreement that, well, a lot of the characters have to be in front of their backdrops. Not all of them, but some of their, and because Bluey is a licensing agreement, so technically Disney doesn't own Bluey. They technically license it in different regions around the world. Because I think it's kind of like the Australian version of the BBC. I can't remember what it's called, but like their local, public broadcasting, I think, is who actually owns Bluey. But anyway, so that it might be that they have. I'm just guessing. They might have an agreement where Bluey may only be able to be photographed in front of her backdrop, and same with Bingo.
Or the D Lounge, they have a backdrop set up, but they convert the whole side walls into her room.
With screens on the side, or
Yeah, and they do that for the Wakey Wakey and for the Pajama Party too. Now, did you get to attend either or both of those events?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we prioritize meeting the Bluey and
my daughter's a big fan, and so am I. And then we also enjoy them too. So
yeah, we're honestly, we love them. Our son Nathan, who's 12, loves Bingo and Bluey. Like, I think it's a fantastic show. For those listening, if you're not watching Bluey, you're missing out. It's not just like a preschooler show. It is like an all ages enjoyment show. Their accents are adorable, but the plot lines are great too. It's fantastic. So tell me about Wakey Wakey first. Like, what was that kind of about?
Nothing we're giving that is that you and Amelia?
That was just me and Amelia. Yeah. That was the morning of Lookout. We stopped at Lookout, and so before you actually could get off on the island, they had this Wakey Wakey, and you go in and you do various dances or Bluey games. I forget if it was that one or the Pajama Party where they do like the magic asparagus.
That was Pajama Party.
That was cool. Okay.
That one I was in there. So that Pajama Party, they have the asparagus that's out, and Luke didn't initially get up, but he got sucked into dancing shortly. It didn't take long to get pulled in, and even I think some of the parents were even starting to dance because they did like kind of like a Congo line, even though the kids don't want to go out. That's what it was, and went around the room, and it was great. I will say they are very tall characters. They are very tall characters and barely fit through the doorway.
Oh,
yeah, they're very wide and very tall, like the shape of their because they have to be the shape of Bingo and Bluey that you see on TV, right? So they've got to look proper. I mean, Disney's not gonna one, do it wrong, right, in a way that they don't look on TV. But also their licensing agreement probably wouldn't let them do it wrong, right? I wouldn't be shocked if they went through multiple iterations of costumes before they, settled on the one.
So actually there is a costume change. If you look, the Australian Bluey and Bingo are different from this one. There is a costume upgrade change. Now, that was also fun. So we did do a photo package for the dream, but we just we purchased like afterwards the Bluey shot. They still had which ship was it that went?
Oh, the Wonder.
Wonder. It still had the Wonder badge on the photo. So we had to reach out to Disney and say, hey, we didn't go on the Wonder, but our photo says that this was a Wonder picture.
Oh, that's funny. Did they fix it and send you either a clean one or one with the dream on it or something?
They took it completely off. That was kind of, it was a little, I was hoping they would swap it for the ship name, but
I wonder if they just didn't, they probably don't have one that they've created yet, like an overlay for the dream. And so but it was probably sort of that preloaded into their system is the one that they created for the Wonder, because that's exactly where they had Bluey first on the Wonder over in Australia and New Zealand. That's hilarious and kind of awesome. Well, fantastic. I got to tell you, I'm very jealous. I don't have any plans to be on the dream anytime soon. And I'm trying to remember. I know that I think Bluey and Bingo may be coming to the Wish as well. This summer. I can't. I'm not remember. I know that. Yeah, they're definitely. It's coming to it. It's going to be on another ship. I'll be honest. I can't remember even when and which ship. But my gut is telling me it was the Wish, but not till like summer or something. But they never said when in summer, if I'm remembering correctly. This was, of course, the announcement from several months ago. All right. Well, we're going to switch over to rapid fire, and so I don't have Brian to introduce this portion of the show, but I will say. This is my favorite portion of the show. It's the time where I'm going to ask you about your Disney favorites. I'm going to give you some arbitrary question, impose some arbitrary rules, and of course, a dash of judgment. I already know that you guys are going to do okay, though, on talking about shows because we've already talked a little bit about Beauty and the Beast. So I know you got good taste. I know your kids thus far have good taste, except maybe in desserts, Lauren, with your creamsicle. But you agree with me on the Oreo cheesecake. So maybe not. We'll see. All right. So here we go. We're going to start with your Disney favorites, and then we're going to shift over to some Disney Cruise Line favorites. We're going to start with who is your favorite Disney character. And remember, you can pick anything that Disney owns, or I guess technically licenses. So you could even pick Indiana Jones Chase if you want. But we're going to start with Lauren. Who is your favorite Disney character?
Wally.
Yes, love it. All right, Chase.
So I've actually become more of a fan of this person. This not Marvel.
Yeah, nice.
I'm more of my character.
I mean,
I love Mischief.
Yeah. Well, and he's a villain and a hero, so he's that complex character, right? He's an anti-hero. Awesome. Love it. Okay. Favorite Disney movie. We're going to start with Chase this time.
Favorite Disney movie. I watch it on repeat, and it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Any of them. It doesn't matter.
Nice. We watch them a lot too. I'd say that's probably up there in Brian's list. He'll watch any of them. So yeah, we'll watch any of the versions. I still think the first one is probably number one of that genre, but they're all pretty fun to watch. Yeah. All right, Lauren, favorite Disney movie?
It's so hard. Pick one like right now. I'd say Frozen 2. I just love the boy band, kind of sing song, and
Lost in the Woods. Yeah, it's like an 80s hairband classic song. I love Lost in the Woods. That's my favorite song from the movie, from Frozen 2 for sure.
Some, little characters to the lizard and the horse.
Yes. Yes, love it. All right. We're going to, of course, move to favorite Disney song. And Lauren, we'll stay with you. I mean, it could be Lost in the Woods, but it could also be something else.
No, I'm going to go totally different. I'm going to go Hercules, Go the Distance.
Yeah. Corey J. Bradford singing it is just chef's kiss. Yeah. All right, Chase, favorite song.
I don't necessarily have a favorite song because a lot of things I listen to are not lyric based. So I love, I go like anytime getting back to my movie of Pirates of the Caribbean.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack of any of those like hit home because it's not necessarily singing. I love beats. And so like that's got some good beats.
I gotta say, some of the live action movies that Disney does have great like soundtracks in the like orchestration soundtracks in the background, just fantastic. I mean, they have access though to like literally the best musicians and composers in the world, so it's not really that surprising, right?
Where they're singing in it, it's gonna be. I think it's "Shine" is the name of it from Moana.
Oh, shiny. Yeah.
I think that if you make me pick more words, then it's gonna be that one. Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're going to move over to the cruise line. We're going to start with shows since we're in that sort of genre already. Favorite Disney Cruise Line stage show. We're talking about something that happens in the Walt Disney Theater that's done by the Disney cast. So we're not talking about ventriloquists and magicians and, mentalists and all those other jugglers, right? Like they are great, but they're not Disney cast members. I want to hear your favorite Disney Cruise Line stage show. Chase, we're going to start with you.
We already named it Beauty and Beast for me. I love technical things. I love how well all the props get moved around. The characters do so awesome. They play so many roles. It's incredible. That's number one to me.
All right, Lauren, what about you?
I would say Hercules. I really enjoy the Muses, and then Hades was really good.
Oh, so good. Yes. Oh, you guys had a different Hades than we had too. Because the Broadway visiting performer is Hades, and those change over mid-contract for the rest of the cast, actually. So you probably had a different. I can't say for sure, but you probably. I think you did because I think I follow both the first Hades and the second Hades on Instagram, and so I think we did have it. But both of them. I'm sure the second one was fabulous because again, these are the Broadway visiting artists and it's still Destiny. He's still part of Destiny cast number one. All right. I love both answers. So far, you guys are doing great. Absolutely great. Okay. We're going to shift over to favorite cruise line activity. Lauren, what's your favorite thing to do on a Disney cruise?
I think encountering the characters, just walking around that, there's other times we've met, Daisy or whoever, and they're just always so cute and so fun to interact with.
Yeah, and her sass is like just top notch. Love it. All right, Chase, what about you?
I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy taking these slides with my kids and going on it. Partially because I'm not usually the event I don't really care for roller coasters, so I may act a little bit that I don't love it, and so that kids love it, and so that hits a little bit home for me. I love doing the water slides.
I love that. Awesome. All right. Well, you already told us your favorite water slide, so we're not gonna hit that question. You both said the Aqua Duck is your favorite as compared to the Aqua Mouse. You haven't been on the Aqua Dunk, so stay tuned. It's the one with the floor drops out from under you, so good luck. I feel like you're going to have to do it if you get on the Magic. Okay, we're going to shift over, though, to rotational dining. I got to ask, and you could choose from any of the ships that you have been on. So you can choose from, all of the Wish class, and you can choose from the Dream and the Fantasy. What's your favorite rotational dining restaurant, Chase? Notice I'm ping-ponging back and forth, by the way. Yeah.
I'll be honest. If you asked me before, it was going to be Frozen because I actually enjoy the characters. But after doing Proudlands was amazing to me. I actually enjoyed all the songs. I thought the menu was awesome. It changes from daylight to nighttime. I'm sorry. That to me wins hands down.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Lauren.
I think for repeatability, I would say 1923. I really enjoy the menu back then is also really great, but all the different pieces of the different movies, I just love walking around looking at those too.
Yeah, there's a lot to discover in the restaurant that you might not notice the first time you go in, or if you sit in a different spot on a different cruise, right? You'll see different things. Absolutely. I think it is. Man, there's no show in there, so of course you don't have to worry about a show being repeatable. Of course.
I mean, you can get a show with all the pictures that you see. You can put it together. I mean, our kids did love the section we sat in was the Dalmatian section, and we had Ralph. Yeah, well, and Wreck-It Ralph was there too. But our daughter has really come into loving 101 Dalmatians and Cruella, like the movie actually Cruella. And we were sitting by the crunch and the dog collars. And she loved it. She thought it was awesome.
Oh, love that. Awesome. All right. Well, we got to shift over to food. We're going to talk favorite sweet item and a favorite savory item. Again, it can be from any of your sailings. It doesn't have to be from your most recent 2 sailings, but I got to ask. First, we start with the sweets because I love the savory, so I save the best for last. I don't care that dessert comes at the end of a meal. And Chase is giving me a thumbs up, so he agrees that, yeah, savories are better than sweets. That's the end of the story. Okay, so Lauren, we're going to start with first, we're going to do your favorite sweet item on a Disney cruise.
At Palo, the amaretto souffle.
Yes, that's the right answer. Absolutely, Lauren. This is a very rare answer. I'm going to tell the audience because most people who have been to Palo for dinner will say the chocolate souffle. I personally find the chocolate souffle to be too sweet for my palate. It's not, I mean, it's good. I can't say it's bad. It's like if you put one in front of me, I'm still going to eat it. But I will always ask for the amaretto souffle. I find that to be like the perfect level of sweetness. It's still sweet, but it's not at that like higher sweet level. Yeah, love that answer. All right, Chase.
Somebody might have ordered dessert first on one of them.
I love it. Chase, I'm not sure you can top Lauren's answer this round, but what is your answer for favorite sweet item?
I mean, it's weird because mine is when they have it. I love getting the mint ice cream actually from when they have it on the serve because I just don't care for sweets. I love savory that much, and I will always order more savory than I will sweets. And so, like, when I get my chance at mint ice cream, I'm really excited.
That's hilarious. I will tell you, even though I'm a savory person, I don't like mint ice cream. I don't.
It's fine. That is okay. My kids don't like it. It's the one thing I know in the house I can have and nobody will touch it.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Well, and I really don't like mint and chocolate together. That's actually worse for me. Like, so
That's same for the kids. Yeah. So like it's the one thing I can have in the house and they won't touch it.
Yeah. Like whenever we go to like a hotel and they put those Andes mints on the pillow, Brian he always gets the extra one because I won't eat it. I don't eat York peppermint patties. I don't any of that. Yeah. I like mint. Like I like, like mint is fine. Like if I'm having like a breath mint or like mint toothpaste or, like it's not like I'm
averse to mint. I don't want to upset any of your viewers for my comment that I'd make about like the chocolate I don't like.
Oh my God. Okay. Now we're in a fight, Chase. Your stock just went way, way down. I'm sorry. We're going to finish here because we gotta hit savory items. So I kind of want to skip you now, Chase, because you've made me so mad. You've made me so mad about your recent. I mean,
it's the number one trigger I can guarantee of everything. If I don't get you more views off of it, we'll see what happens. I've never intervented.
More races for me or the kids. So
there you go, Lauren. Yeah, and
there's gonna be a group that says, "Hey, we gotta have an intervention for your."
Yeah, we have to have an intervention, especially if you're talking holiday Reese's, because holiday Reese's are the premium Reese's. Those are way better. The eggs, the trees, the pumpkins. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. We're gonna stay with you, Chase. I'm not gonna kick you off the show right now. I'm gonna kick you off in a few minutes. But tell me, what's your favorite savory item on a Disney cruise?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I will always go back to a good steak if they have it up there, and I'm never upset about getting whatever they want to change the name to because it's basically the same thing, the roast or the prime rib that they have or whatever you want to call it, and every the rotations and the it's not adult baked potato, but that's what it basically is, and it's always love it. Mm-hmm. I love getting it every single time. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of person, and it's all.
Nice. I'm guessing at dinner at Palo, you do the tenderloin then too, because that's a great steak as well.
No.
Oh,
I do
the cowboy.
I do the cowboy. I do the big one that they cut up.
Yeah,
I love it.
We split it last time.
Yeah. We've done that too. It's a great option. We only do it though every once in a while because I will always order steak at Palo, but Brian. He likes to switch it up. He likes the sole. He likes the osobuco. He likes, and that's a 2-person steak. I can't order that one steak for me. It's the porterhouse. It's just, it's a 2-person. There you go. There you go. Yeah. All right, Lauren, your favorite savory item.
The amuse-bouche at Palo with that mushroom sauce.
Yes. Oh my God. It's like a little fried gnocchi in a mushrooms. And I'm not, I didn't used to be a mushroom person. And now I've learned the error of my previous ways, but that is such a good amuse-bouche. Okay. All right. We only have a couple of minutes left. I got to ask the most important question. Which one is your favorite ship? Lauren, we'll start with you. This is, I know, a very tough question. Obviously, Magic and Wonder and Adventure out because you haven't been on those two or those three, rather.
I would probably say that, I'm kind of one of those, whatever one I'm on, whatever Disney ship I'm on.
I tried to tell her she has to give me an answer.
Yeah. All right, Chase. What about you?
I have come to love the Destiny. I love all the technical things of the lights, the show. Mm-hmm. Yes, it may not wow you and be ooh and awe when you walk in with the cool chandelier, but what they're able to transport that room into with the lights, that to me, that's what makes that one to me. Mm-hmm. And the heroes and villains of the whole ship, I loved it. The Destiny has become my number one. And I didn't think that was going to be the case.
Yeah. Even, I mean, you're sort of Marvel light, as you mentioned, like not necessarily hardcore Marvel, but I feel, it's so well done. Okay. Last question. Bucket list cruise. You could go anywhere in the world on a Disney Cruise Line ship. It doesn't have to be someplace that Disney Cruise Line currently sails. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. It's just someplace accessible by water. Chase, where are you going? It doesn't have to be the same as Lauren, by the way.
I know. Like
you could go by yourself.
So
right?
I really, really want to do. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to do like the Australia cruises. I really do hope at some point they bring that back because that was one of I would have loved to hit that selling would have been on my list for sure.
Lauren, what about you?
But I love that.
I would do like a world cruise. So, go Pacific,
go big or go home.
Disney.
That's yeah. I'm with you, Lauren. Like why I don't understand why people don't just answer that as the like every person should just answer. Like, sorry, guests who are listening, future guests, past guests.
I travel for work. I did meet somebody on this last one who just got off of 100 days on Disney Cruise Line. And I was like, so what does that entail? They're like, I don't know. What's their next one? They're like, it doesn't matter. They're just going to keep going on them. They love Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys, I got to ask you, what's next? You teased that there's something next. I'm imagining it's on the Wonder or the Magic because at the beginning we talked about you haven't been on the classic original ships. What's next, Chase?
Actually, what's next is we have 2 incredible sailings in the year of 2027. I think they're incredible. We're doing the Dream, a Southern Caribbean on the Dream out of Puerto Rico. So that's going to be new for us. But while we're on this last cruise, thanks to our travel agent, because it opened up, we snagged one for Alaska and on the Wonder. Yeah, I was like, I have to that ship while there. Yeah. So we're doing the Wonder out of Alaska. So we are 2 7-night sailings in 2027. So
the more time on a Disney ship, the better. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much fun. Lauren, you get A++. Chase, you get a D. No, you get a D. You're dropped down to a D. You were at an A or an A+, but then you've dropped down to a D for that Reese's comment. But I really appreciate you both coming on and joining me today. It's been really, really fun, and I hope you'll join us again.
Well, thanks to everyone out there for listening this week. We really, really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you can keep getting great content from us every week. In fact, twice a week we publish shows. So be sure to hit the subscribe button to get all of those great episodes. And if you want to watch us live, we have a live show now every week, Monday nights, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern over on youtube.com/DCL Duo. So be sure to head over and check that out. If you want to help support the show, be sure to hit those 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you leave us a 5-star written review, we we will read it at the top of one of our main episodes. So please head over there and hit those 5 stars. Of course, you can also help support the show by supporting our fabulous show sponsor, My Path Unwinding Travel. If you want to book your next Disney vacation, head over to mypathunwinding.com/DCL Duo or email them at dclduo@mypathunwinding.com so they know we sent you their way. If you've got questions or you'd like to connect with us, the best way to do that is to head over to dclduo.com. It's got links to all of our things, full catalog of the podcast episodes, including a searchable catalog for the podcast, links off to our vlog, a link to our Etsy store where we sell some fun fan-inspired magnets, link to our Patreon if you'd like to help directly support the show each and every month. Just head over to the website or patreon.com/DCLduo. Also has a way for you to sign up for our Substack newsletter that we're hoping to start really pumping out monthly here at least, and a few blog articles that we've written. So dclduo.com is the best way to connect with us. You can also, of course, email us at info@dclduo.com or reach out to us on our voicemail line at 402-413-5590. That's 402-413-5590. The DCL Duo podcast is not affiliated with Disney Cruise Line, the Disney Company, or the Disney family of theme parks. The views expressed on the show are solely those of the individuals on the podcast and in no way reflect the views of the Disney Company or Disney Cruise Line. If you have questions about a Disney cruise or a Disney vacation, please contact the great folks over at My Path Unwinding Travel or Disney directly or your own travel agent. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time for another fabulous adventure with the DCL Duo. Good night.